Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for Instant Encore's webinar on why arts presenters use mobile apps. My name is David Dombrowski. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Instant Encore. We are a technology company that's been working with the performing arts for a number of years, and recently, over the past 6 years, we've been working with organizations to explore ways of engaging audiences through mobile devices. And so over the next 30 minutes, I want to take a look at why arts presenters are adding mobile apps to their communications mix. And then we're going to explore how they are using apps to enhance the audience experience. We'll also explore how they are using apps to develop stronger relationships with patrons. And finally, we'll take a look at how arts presenters of all sizes can afford to have their own mobile apps. So to start off, why are arts presenters adding mobile apps to their communication mix? Well, as with anything with arts marketing, it really boils down to the behavior of our patrons. So in recent years, mobile development has just exploded, and correspondingly, society has adopted mobile at an accelerated rate. Currently in the US, 90% of US adults own mobile phones. And according to ComScore, which tracks smartphone development and usage all over the world, 79% of those in the US own smartphones versus the 21% who use standard cell phones. In addition, 51% of US households now own a tablet computer. And with the adoption of this mobile technology, it has started to change expectations among our patrons and our audiences for how they access information and engage with us. And Forrester Research calls this the mobile mind shift. This is the expectation that we can access relevant content and services on our mobile devices in our immediate context and moments of need. And they go on to define these moments of need as mobile moments. These are points in space and time where we use our mobile devices in response to a desire for information, for service, or engagement. Now, with the performing arts, mobile moments are interesting in that live performance takes place in a specific venue at a certain time. So correspondingly, mobile moments for a live performance are defined by their proximity to the performance in both space and time. There are mobile moments that take place before the audience ever arrives at our doors. Maybe they're in a coffee shop and they see a poster for a performance and scan a QR code to read more about it. Maybe they watch a trailer or a teaser video for an upcoming performance. Or maybe they just want to buy a ticket or get directions or get parking information. Incidentally, recent research for arts patrons finds that getting directions, finding restaurants, and parking information is at the top of the information that they want from their mobile engagement. There are also moments that take place after the patron arrives on site. They might check in to your venue on social media and let their friends know they're attending your event. They may want to read program notes, learn more about the artist. Maybe they want to take a selfie and post it to Facebook or Instagram. Maybe they want to chat with other patrons through social media who are attending the event right now. And of course, having the ability to buy tickets to upcoming events is really important as well. Or maybe they're not even at your venue. Maybe they're watching a live video broadcast of a performance or a Q&A session with an artist, and they want to enhance their experience through a mobile interaction. There are also moments that take place after the show's over. they want to have the ability to immediately buy tickets to the next event or to convert that single ticket purchase they just made into an ongoing season subscription. Maybe they want to learn about special offers for upcoming performances or dive deeper into the show they just saw and see behind the scenes photos or listen to artist interviews or even download recordings from the performance. All of these things are mobile moments, and they take place throughout the spectrum of the relationship between the arts presenter and the audience member. So correspondingly, it's really important that we identify our patrons' mobile moments and then provide them with whatever it is that they want, whether it's information or service or engagement at that time and in that context. So we've been doing this for a number of years with our websites. We have moved toward mobile responsive websites. We've been using social media, which is mobile optimized. More people than ever are accessing Facebook and Twitter through mobile devices than they are through their desktop sites. But why would an arts presenter want to add a mobile app into this marketing mix and communication mix? Well, again, it really boils down to usage. Currently, the average U.S. adult spends 220 minutes per day on mobile devices, and 90% of that time is spent using apps versus the mobile browser. In fact, over the past 2 years, mobile browser activity has decreased by 50%, while in the past year, app activity has risen by 35%. That's not to say that a mobile responsive website isn't important. It is. And it's really important because Google has made it important. In April of 2015, Google changed their algorithm for their search feature, where it now prioritizes those websites it considers to be mobile friendly versus websites it considers to be unfriendly for mobile viewers. And due to that shift, it has kind of created this tipping point for the need to have a mobile responsive site. But as we can see here, having a mobile responsive site isn't necessarily enough, because while you get the drive-by traffic of people who are searching on Google or maybe who are going directly to your website through the address, it doesn't necessarily tie into their behavior. When it comes to mobile devices, particularly smartphones, when people want to engage with you repeatedly over time, to be blunt, they want an app for that. They don't want to have to constantly search you in their mobile browser. So now that we're understanding more about why arts presenters are adding mobile apps to their communications mix, what are they doing with it? Well, arts presenters are using apps to deepen audience engagement. They're increasing social activity among their patrons, particularly social media activity among their patrons. They're also promoting ongoing attendance. One of the things that they're trying to battle is audience churn, the idea that someone purchases a single ticket and then doesn't come back. And so what they're doing is they're finding ways of using mobile apps to engage people on site and then provide them with the opportunity to purchase tickets, to come back and become a repeat buyer, and then also foster them further down the pipeline toward becoming a season subscriber and ultimately a donor. Arts presenters are also fostering stronger patron relationships by doing direct communication with them through their mobile devices. And we're going to take a look at what that is like in a few moments. So how are they doing it? Well, to start with, they're sharing content. For example, they're sharing event information so that people have the ability to glance at their season and see performances that they find interesting and tap on those to learn more about them. Then they're providing them with additional functionality, the ability to buy a ticket online, the ability to dial the box office directly, the ability to open Google Maps and get directions from wherever they happen to be at the moment. But in addition to event information, because everybody has it on their websites, they're sharing more content. They're sharing news and buzz items. For example, they might be sharing newsfeed items, press releases. They might be sharing blog posts, podcasts. They might be sharing items from social media. But more importantly, they're aggregating them into a singular mobile space so that their patron doesn't have to find them in various places. Additionally, they're also adding in video. Mobile video is on the rise and is the top consumed content among mobile users. And so arts presenters are taking advantage of that, and they're adding in on-demand video into the mix of their mobile apps. And they're doing that automatically by synchronizing them with their YouTube channel, but presenters are also in a unique space where they're bringing in artists who have their own YouTube channels. And what a lot of presenters are doing is they're able to pull in video from those artist channels by simply using embed content from YouTube or Vimeo. In addition to on-demand video, a lot of presenters are starting to play with the idea of live video. Some of them are doing it for live performances, but others are doing it for educational programming like master classes, or they may be using it on a university campus. Particularly, they may be using it for commencement addresses, convocation speeches. They may also be using live performance or live video rather for artist Q&As where the questions are submitted by Twitter or social media and the artist is responding to them in real time through live video. Arts presenters are also providing access to music. It may be providing access to streaming music from within their app where they've received permission from an artist and they're able to provide that music from within the app itself, or they may be providing links to where the patron can download the music from iTunes or Amazon. They may be also linking out to an artist profile on SoundCloud where there's streaming music available as well. And of course, they're providing photos. It can be backstage photos, performance photos, photos that people can share with their friends on social media. But in addition to all of this kind of multimedia content that they're sharing, they're also providing their patrons with the ability to share content with their friends on social media. So you'll often in an app see a share button, and when you tap on that, it allows you to share the content you're seeing with whatever you have available on your device. Maybe you're going to share it with somebody through a text message. Maybe you want to share it through an email. Or maybe you want to share it through social media and let your friends know that you're going to an event and invite them to come with you. Of course, sharing content is 21st century word of mouth for arts organizations, and we all know that word of mouth marketing is the most influential marketing. So that's all about sharing content, in a more permanent way, but how can arts presenters enhance the performance experience itself? Well, many of them are releasing event-specific content on the day of a performance. So, it has a default state in their app where you're going in and you're seeing their event listings or their multimedia content that they have available. And then on the day of a show, they add in additional new content that's specific to the particular performance taking place that day or evening. They may be providing them with trivia, about the performance, about the artists who are involved. They may be providing them with logistical information like parking, nearby restaurants. They may be providing them with additional programmatic information, like, for example, they may be providing them with program notes. The Ford Center at the University of Mississippi is a presenter that has both a main stage series as well as an additional smaller series that takes place. Their main stage series, they have a printing budget for programs, but for the smaller series, they don't have a set printing budget for those programs. So what they've been doing for the last 2 years is using their mobile app to provide digital programs for their patrons to access. So they have access to program notes, they have access to more information about the artist, and they're able to access it in a way that they weren't able to prior, because prior to their mobile app, they didn't have printed programs for those performances. In addition to releasing event-specific activity, you can also increase social activity within the app. You might provide them with the ability to check in, but patrons are also adding social feeds to their apps. So what's great about that is you may have people in your audience who are on Facebook, but they're not on Twitter, or they're not on Instagram, or you may have people in the audience who aren't on social media at all. And what these presenters are doing is they're providing a space within their mobile apps where all members of the audience can see what people are posting on social media by aggregating it into a single space, and also providing them with the ability to post directly from within the app. And many of them are even providing the opportunity for people who don't have social media to use the app to engage in social media activity through the app itself, rather than going through a platform like Twitter or Instagram. One of the organizations that's had a lot of success with social media is Dallas Summer Musicals. One of the things that they've been doing that's been really quite impactful in terms of their social media activity is they're providing selfie stations at each of the performances. So what they do is they have a particular area where they will set up a logo wall with a little red carpet in front of it, or they may have props that are specific to a show that's taking place in the space. For example, when they did A Christmas Story, they had a leg lamp that you could take your picture with, or you could take your picture with a cardboard cutout of Ralphie. Other organizations are also doing selfie stations a little differently. For example, the Johnson County Community College Performing Arts Series. What they've done is they have identified the best place within their venue for someone to take a selfie and get the best background. So what they've really done is they've identified the place within the venue to take the best advantage of the architectural detail of the lobby. And they've put a sign up there that encourages people to take their selfies there and post to social media. Of course, it's telling them what hashtag to use or to tag them with their account name, all of those things. And it's really provided a lot of social media activity for that performing arts series as well. So I would definitely recommend that you find a way to have selfie stations in your venue, because people love to take pictures and post them on social media when they're at events. In addition to that type of social activity, others are using their social spaces for their educational programming. The Alabama Dance Festival uses it for their educational talkbacks with artists. They allow people to submit questions through their app that the artists answer during the Q&A. Berkeley Rep worked with Anna Devere Smith last summer on her new theater piece, and it had a highly engaging component at the end where it asked the audience members to make proclamations about how they were going to become agents of social change. And Berkeley Rep encouraged them to download and access the app so that they could make their proclamations through the social area on their app. And then Berkeley Rep had an archive of all those proclamations that were made by the audience. So in addition to providing event-specific content and increasing social activity, another way that arts presenters are enhancing the experience is by encouraging people to come back with promotions and offers. They're actually taking advantage of the fact that people are in their space and are right there near the box office and encouraging them to come back. So they may be providing offers for tickets to upcoming performances and encouraging people to stop by the box office that evening, maybe show the screen and get a particular discount, or providing them with the opportunity to buy those tickets online after the show with a discount. Others are encouraging people to stop by the box office when they arrive and see if they're able to upgrade their seats. Others are focusing on getting people to stop by the box office and upgrade that single ticket purchase into an ongoing season subscription. But in addition to their own promotions, many arts presenters are also highlighting their partnerships with other organizations in the community. For example, they may have a promotion with a nearby restaurant where you can show your screen to the server and get 10% off of your meal. Or perhaps they have an arrangement with the parking deck across the street where you can show your screen to the parking attendant and get $1 off parking. In addition to sharing content and enhancing the experience, one of the really important ways that arts presenters are using mobile apps is to stay connected with their patrons and foster the development of that patron through their patron pipeline, from single ticket buyer to multi-ticket buyer to season subscriber and ultimately to donor. And they're doing that in different ways. Of course, they're connecting them with their social media accounts directly so that people can follow them on those platforms. But in addition to that, and maybe more powerfully than that, they are communicating directly with their app subscribers using push notifications. So push notifications are short text messages that appear on the user's device, and they have the ability to tap on those messages and open content directly within the app. They can also tap on messages and it may take them to an external URL. So it may take them somewhere on the organization's website, or perhaps they're sending out a push notification about a review that an upcoming artist just got in the New York Times, and it's taking them directly to that review. The thing about push notifications that's great is that there's a sense of immediacy. When you send out an email, you awfully have many hours before the person accesses that email, or your email may get caught in a spam filter. With push notifications, there's no spam filter. It goes directly to the device. And people have their devices within arm's length 97% of the time, according to recent research. So you can very much guarantee that someone is going to see the message that you're sending out. More importantly, by being able to connect that message directly with content in the moment, you have the ability to prompt behavior expediently. Now, many people say, well, I turn off my notifications. I don't, whenever I open up a new app and it says, you want to receive notifications, I just say no. Well, what a lot of arts presenters are doing now is they're changing what's called the onboarding process for their app. So that when you download and open their app for the first time, now what you're seeing are welcome screens that are encouraging you to stay connected with them by receiving notifications. It's also affirming for you that they're only going to send out relevant messaging to you, which is really important because people don't necessarily want all of the messages that you're sending out. They may have particular interests. Maybe they're only interested in your jazz series, or maybe they're really interested in hearing about volunteering opportunities, or maybe they just want to hear about deals for upcoming sales. What's great is that in addition to welcoming them into the app in this new onboarding process, they're also providing them with the ability to tell them what's relevant. So they may be providing personal information categories that the app user can respond to. For example, in this case, those information categories would be my home base. I may be able to say I'm in the greater Boston area. I may be saying that I'm in the United States, that I'm in New England. Another information category you can see here is type of visitor. It may be I'm a subscriber, I frequently attend, I'm an occasional visitor, this is my first time. And they're also providing them with interest categories. Basically, they're identifying the types of messages they're likely to send out or the topics that those messages will generally be about, and then allowing the app user to tell them if they're interested in receiving those types of messages. And what's great is then the arts presenter can target their push notification messaging based on the way people have responded. So in this particular example, New England Conservatory could say, well, I want to send out a push notification to people in the greater Boston area who are occasional visitors and are interested in opera. And that message would then only go out to those app subscribers who have responded that way with their personal information and interest categories. And ultimately, what this is about is it's about increasing relevance and being as relevant as possible. And by increasing the relevance of the communication they're having with their arts patrons, they're providing a more positive experience. They're not seen as a spammer. They are seen as someone who really pays attention to what interests that arts attendee and providing them with the information they want at the right time. So all of this is great, but how are arts presenters affording this? I mean, arts apps cost a lot of money, right? I mean, when you go to a developer, you're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars to create an app from scratch. Well, the good news is that in the past few years, things have changed a great deal around apps. There are now app creation services like our company, Instant Encore, and they are stratifying their costs based on things like organizational budget size. So for example, what they're doing is they're providing equal access to the tool for organizations that are both small as well as organizations that are larger in size. And they usually stratify because they know that the larger organizations are going to have a larger number of app users and are going to take up a larger number of resources on their system than a smaller organization. In addition to that, they're using a platform that's called shared infrastructure. So the shared infrastructure means that they're making product development and they're taking care of all of the updates and all of the technical support and the product evolution from a singular shared space, and then sending them out to all of their app clients who have their own mobile apps. For all of you who are attending today's webinar, we have a special offer. For those of you who are interested in actually having your own mobile app and engaging audiences in the ways we've been talking about, you can sign up with our mobile app creation service by March 25th, and you'll receive 20% off the annual fee for the first year of service. Or you can receive 25% off the annual fee for the first 2 years of service with a 2-year commitment. And as I said, this offer will be available to all of you through March 25th. In addition, I would like to offer all of you the opportunity to have your own free demo account with Instant Encore, where you can see what these different features and functionality are, how easy they are to manage for arts presenters, and give you an opportunity to see if this is right for you. So after today's webinar, we'll be sending out a recording of the webinar. With that recording, we'll also be sending out an invitation for you to have your own demo account and remind you, of course, of the special offer that's available to all of you. So we are at time, and to be conscientious of everyone's time, I want to say thank you for attending and open it up to questions. For any questions that those of you may have, you can simply type your question in the questions bar or in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and I will unmute you and you can ask your question verbally. So I'm going to provide you with a few moments, and I see someone has their hand raised. So Linda, you are unmuted if you would like to ask your question. Oh no, I don't hear Linda. Linda, if you would like to type your question into the chat box or into the question box, then we will respond accordingly. Well, it looks like there are, oh wait, hold on. I see somebody popped up in the questions box. So they missed the comment about the recording. Yes, the recording of this webinar will be made available so that you can go back and review. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at david@instantencore.com or give me a call and I can respond to any of your questions personally. Linda's question was, is any of this already integrated into ticketing systems? And the answer is some. So, for example, Instant Encore partners with Tessitura, and we do provide ticketing integration within the app with the Tessitura system. But additionally, about 50% of our clients are not with Tessitura, and for them, what they're doing is when someone taps on an event, they tap on Get Tickets Online, and it opens the online purchase path for their ticketing system from within a child browser. So it's still within the app, but it provides them with the opportunity to work directly with that ticketing system, which is great because it means that your ticketing system is the only one that needs to have the PCI compliance, and you're not dealing with multiple vendors that have to have multiple compliance approval. All right. Well, thank you for your questions. And actually, I see one more. Hold on. Is there any talk with Vendini to work with them to make easier integration? I'm a one-person show here, and I have to put the info on our website, ticketing site, in the app. You know, I understand. It totally makes sense. And what a lot of organizations are doing, including what we'll be doing in the future, is providing an import process. So that way it can work more easily with ticketing systems where you can export event information from the ticketing platform and import it into the mobile app platform. Linda asks, are you familiar with Patron Manager? I am familiar with Patron Manager. We've known Gene and the folks at Patron Technology for quite a long time, and they're really great people. And just to be conscientious of everybody's time, we're at 2:34, so we're going to end today. Again, thank all of you for your attendance, and of course we'll be sending this recording out to you and providing you the opportunity to have your own demo account and to decide if you want to take us up on that offer for 20% off the first year off the annual fee, or do a 2-year commitment and get 25% off the first 2 years of service. And again, thank you for your attendance today, and I look forward to being in touch with all of you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.